Welcome back to Camera West TV. My name's Carlo, and today we're taking a look at the Leica IIIF. The Leica IIIF is one of the last screw mount cameras produced by Leica in the 1950s alongside the Leica 3G. It holds a special place amongst many Leica photographers as it was for its time the most technologically advanced screw mount camera that upheld the values and ideas that Oscar Barnack set to create with the Leica IIIF in 1914. If you want to learn more about Leica screw mount cameras, please check out our What's the Barnack video right above. There we share more details about Oscar Barnack, the early history of Leica, and we go through the various differences between the different Leica screw mount cameras. To stay true to the era of when the cameras were introduced, we're going to use a roll of Kodak's Ektachrome E100. The original Ektachrome was released around the 1940s, so I think it's pretty fitting that we use this for our Photowalk. So let's get started. Loading screw mount cameras is a bit different than loading an M system, as it does not have a film door in the back, and you have to pre-trim your leader to a precise length. That is because it won't pass through the film gate properly, but check out our video right here on how to load screw mount cameras. So let's get this camera loaded. We got to make sure we can see that arrow to make sure our film is locked. Now we just pull out the leader just a little bit. It's nice that they give you a little diagram. It gives you a better sense of how to load the camera. And then don't forget to set your counter to 0. All right, I got my little pocket meter. We're ready to go. Some notable things about this camera is that it has 2 windows as opposed to the one rangefinder patch. So here we have the actual rangefinder patch and then the view window. These cameras were originally made to be used with 50mm lenses, but today we're using the 28 Summaron, and we have on top our 28mm finder just so we can compose without having to guess. Some notable things when shooting slide film is that you have to meter for your highlights, just because it is a very precise film and it doesn't have very much exposure latitude, so you just want to make sure that you're not blowing anything out. When using screw mount cameras, the one thing you'll notice immediately is the different intervals for your shutter speeds. You'll notice that they're slightly different from your traditional modern speeds. There's just a different way of calculating how fast your shutter will go, but you can easily translate these over from a new meter to an old meter. F8, 1/25. Perfect. Cool. There's actually more. There we go. These screw mount cameras are very pocketable, especially paired with the 28 Summaron. You know, it's the perfect walk around camera. Almost fits in my pocket here. In all seriousness, the Leica IIIF is truly a great alternative to the Leica M. It's super lightweight and it's very easy to use, and the transition's almost seamless. My only gripe with this camera was actually the older version of the external viewfinder. It didn't let me compose as accurately as I would have liked to, but it was close enough to what I was seeing in my head, and I can't complain about something that was built in the 50s. So for its time, it did a really good job. The 28mm Summaron paired with Kodak Ektachrome E100 made for a great combo. It really shows just how good 35mm slide film can be. As you notice, there is pretty heavy vignetting throughout most of the images, and that's due to the characteristics of the Summaron. Even with its optical imperfections, the 28mm Summaron is an extremely sharp lens. It's able to capture very fine detail and has a very natural color rendition. Final thoughts. Is the Leica IIIF the camera for you? The Leica IIIF is a great first camera for anyone that wants an introduction to Leica. It's relatively inexpensive, and you get the same Leica quality build and Leica quality glass at a much lower price point. Even though the Leica IIIF is seen as a vintage camera, it still holds up to today's M cameras, and it has advanced technological features such as flash capabilities and a self-timer mode. Whether you're looking for a pocketable, lightweight film camera or a vintage collectible, the Leica IIIF might be the camera for you. Thanks for checking out this episode of Camera West TV. I hope that gave you more insight about Leica screw mount cameras and what they're more capable of. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.